You're tuned into Inside Lowell. Inside Lowell podcast brought to you in part by Washington Savings Bank, serving the greater Lowell community for over 130 years. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. Reverie 73, Lowell's #1 cannabis shop. Elevate your cannabis experience at Reverie 73. Hafner's, heating and cooling homes and businesses for nearly a century. Hafner's, it kicks. And by Boston North Company, restaurant and retail solutions for your business. That's Boston North. And now, time for another Inside Lowell podcast. Inside Lowell. If Lowell is your home, this is your place.
Hello, and welcome to the Grapefully Yours Wine Podcast, coming to you from the beautiful downtown studios of InsideLowell.com. I'm Jim Campanini, and here is my co-host, the wine butler, Mike Pigeon. Our producer is the station owner, Teddy Panos. He's sitting in the corner. He runs the great Athenian Corner restaurant in downtown Lowell. Stop by and taste some excellent Greek wines, and the food is good too. So, Mike, how you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good.
Beautiful.
Good. Yeah.
Well, the second week in a row, you made the right prediction on the Patriots. You said they were going to lose.
I'm not
I
happy about it. I gave you
an
an honest opinion, and I watch out for the Jets. If they don't win that one, forget it.
Yeah, so I'm going to start calling you Mikey the Greek Pigeon. Remember Jimmy the Greek Snyder? He was the big tout from Las Vegas.
I don't know enough to put $1 on those games. So.
But you're pretty good. You're pretty good with those picks so far. I hope they straighten it out. I still
don't see how they're going to beat you. Not through the air and not on the ground.
I'm still sticking with them. I got to get something right. I'm sticking with them to beat the Jets on the road this week.
Good choice.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So, you've been drinking any good wines lately?
Had a couple down in the pergola the other day. We had a great time. I brought that nice Nebbiolo, which was sharp and crisp, and you followed a suit with a Barolo and. Good day, a couple of pizzas, and a good way to spend 2 hours in the afternoon.
Two old men sitting in the pergola drinking wine. My wife came home and said, "What are you guys doing?" I said, "We're enjoying life. La Bella Vita, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, I have my Bellagio Italia hat on. That's an island to the north of in the northern section of Lake Como. It's a beautiful island. You can visit it. It's a hotel, waterfront, restaurants, a lot of historical sites on the island. You go right past George Clooney's estate, which he's now selling because he's upset with all the paparazzi and people taking the photographs and stuff. You can hardly see his place from the waterfront, but it is very impressive on Lake Como and stuff. But I'm wearing the hat because today we're going to talk about one of the greatest of Italian wines from Tuscany, Brunello di Montalcino. It's a DOCG wine, which means it's got the strictest requirements for a producer to bring this wine to market, meaning that they have to craft it, age it. Everything has to be done according to the requirements for that appellation. And then there's a panel of Italian government officials and wine experts who have to approve that wine, that vintage, for release. It has to be consistent with the Brunello di Montalcino, disciplinario, they call it, the discipline. All right, so the main thing why they put these requirements in there is to gain consistency with the wine, so it cannot change, the taste of Brunello, the classic and traditional style of making it and stuff like that. So, in most producers, in bad vintages, when the weather does not cooperate, and they declassify Brunello di Montalcino rather than selling it to the public, because it only hurt their reputation and dignity. So, and then on the other side, we have the Rosso di Montalcino, which is called the baby Montalcino. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a DOC wine. It does not have the strict regulations. It has its own law that it has to follow to produce it. But it's a fresher, younger, a lighter wine than the more complex Brunello. This they take to market earlier, okay, because they're both Sangiovese wines. But as you can see, Brunello di Montalcino is required 4 years aging requirement, 2 years in oak barrels before it can be put into then a bottle age for almost another 2 years before it's released to the public. So you can just imagine the winemaker, he's got to sit on that bottle for 4 years before he can receive any money for it.
And that drives the expense up for the storage of those wines.
That's right. So that's why it is more expensive.
More expensive, but it doesn't mean it's...
Right.
Some
right.
people might like the younger one, as I do sometimes with the Barolo. They never. I like the younger one sometimes. It might. Yeah, we'll see.
But this represents the highest quality for the Sangiovese grape in this small, prestigious region of Tuscany, which has higher elevations, allowing the clone of the Sangiovese for the Brunello to really thrive in those hilly, gets the sunny exposure and stuff. Now, the Rosso di Montalcino, since 1982, producers were allowed to put out, they set a law that they were able to put out a fresher, younger Montalcino to earn some revenue. It still had to go by its own standards. I mean, it had to be 100% Sangiovese. Both these wines are 100% Sangiovese. The only thing being, so the Rosso di Montalcino, the baby Montalcino, there's no aging requirement. It can be released the September after the first harvest. So it ages for 1 year. Some producers actually age it in French oak, for a little, but there's no requirement for that. Or they might keep it in bottle for a few extra months. But it's usually between 12 months and say 16 months for aging. Then they release it. So to show you the difference, the quality is still there. But where this Pigeon, the Brunello DOC, okay, this Brunello.
97 points.
Yeah, that's on my private stash.
Yeah.
Okay, 97 points to 2016.
We'll have to open that today.
Yeah. So this is, like I said, it's a little lighter. It's got a more ruby color in the glass. We'll pour a little, and it's fresher because naturally you age a wine. Well, it's not as ruby. That's a little. This is the 2017. So this is the 2016 Brunello. So remember when I said that that it takes 4 years for this to hit the market? So I bought this in 2020 when it was released. Okay. Mm-hmm. This was the 2017. This was released in 2018. The first of the year. But you're always going to find the Brunello di Montalcino is always going to be 4 years behind the year you're in. So right now the 2019s are coming out in 2023.
But that will last for like 20 years in the bottle.
This will last about 25, 30 years. Yeah, it's a long-lived wine, So I just wanted you to taste it, Mike. You can see that Brunello color in there. What do you think of the aromatics? What do you think? It's 100% Sangiovese.
It's shallow.
Yeah.
It hasn't got that complexity to it yet, I don't think, but it's nice on the palate.
Exactly.
Very easy.
So this is much more complex. A big almost like a sour cherry taste with the violets and it's little herbs and but tobacco, tar, and everything. This you can tell it's
Not complex. It's a simple.
it's a
It's a good
Sangiovese.
grape. It's a good tasting one.
It's a good grape. This bottle sells for $23.
Goodbye.
Okay, a bottle, which is a pretty good price.
Nice.
The suggested retail prices is around 27 bucks. This. So if you were to buy the new 2019, which I saw in the same store as this, it would cost you $79.99. $79.99. Okay. Now, I've got this Pigeon. It's one of my favorite Brunellos, the producer, going back to 2010, which was a classic year.
Great year.
The other classic year was 2015. The 16, as you can see, this was rated 97 points by most major wine critics and stuff. So when I bought this was close to $90 a bottle back then. Okay, and my 2010s, which are sold out in the 15s, I spent around $75 for those, but you can't find those.
Yep.
They're probably worth double their price right now.
Special occasion wines.
Yes, wine searcher and stuff. And the good thing about the Sangiovese grape in these wines are it's the highest it's the highest quality clone of the Brunello grape, and it's great with food. These wines you drink with food, okay, and from pasta with a thick ragu sauce. You got to have some meat component to that dish. The Italians, they usually have ossobuco. Right off
veal
chop, chop and stuff. Or granted, this one is a little lighter, so you can have it with lighter pasta dishes and in meats. But if you're going to sit down, go out to an Italian restaurant and order a nice Brunello, you want a meat component to that plate. I mean, even with a nice antipasto.
Bouillabaisse.
Oh yeah, it would be fantastic. Now, in reviewing this wine, look it up and do some research on it, I was surprised that. I mean, what do you think of the taste of this wine?
I like it a whole lot because some wines I'm not that anxious to go back for that third and fourth sip, but this one I am. It leaves a nice aftertaste in my mouth and nice.
Very dry.
I don't pucker up dry, but no, I don't I've had very dry wines. Well, wow, it's like a lemon, but no, it's dry, but.
So why they age the Brunello in French barriques for so long is because when it is first crafted, it's very tannic, and you need that's why it's long lived. It's got great acidity, which adds to its length. But those tannins have to soften. They become silky and elegant over time. So you wouldn't just go buy, even if you were to buy the 2019 Brunello right now, which has been aged for 4 years, you'd still want to wait 3 or 4 years for before you even open that bottle. You're better off looking for the 16s, the 15s. Why does this phone keep ringing? You want to look for an older bottle, and that's why don't let the vintage scare you when you see 2011, 2012 with a long-lived wine like Brunello. Even in America, the Cabernets, the California, the high-quality Cabernets. I mean, you can keep those around 10, 15, 20 years in your cellar, So don't let the year, dissuade you from buying a Brunello di Montalcino. Same thing with a Barolo, So, but I get back to the knock on this wine, this Pigeon.
What is the knock?
Well, the producer, Leonardo Franceschi, Franceschi, well-known top producer and stuff. He likes to make the classic traditional Brunello. Well, in this year 2017, he was responding more to the changing palates in the world. People like their wine a little oakier, and with those little vanilla taste, and yet that's what producers of Brunello have resisted. That's why they like the classic tradition. They don't want to manipulate the grape. But he tried something different with this to make it a little more approachable for mass market. Some people like it. I mean, I like the wine, and I don't really detect that much oak or vanilla in it. Do you?
No.
But wine critics who are supposed to be a lot more astute than us and do this, for professional living, they said that they didn't like that little changeover, that he added more oak and toast to it. He put it in, new French oak barrels, which give it that oakiness taste. I really don't detect it because...
Well, that's only this vintner did it. Couldn't they go to another producer have it? It's just like when you go out to eat. One person might like spice on the food, the other one didn't. So you go where you like it. So I would think you could get the same thing, Sangiovese, but from a different producer, and you wouldn't have that over oaked.
Yes, I agree with you. Like I said, for $23, I find this.
I like it.
For those people who want to spend $80 for Brunello, it's very good. It would be good. It would be a good wine. But that is the tension that's going on in the Brunello zone. You've got some of these world-renowned producers who adhere to all the customs and traditions and stuff. And then you got people who want to experiment and stuff. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. That's what makes the world of wine so great and incredible.
Interesting.
And it's what everybody's palate. Everybody's got a different palate. What you like, so you can certainly. Go to if you really want to do an experiment, get a couple of bottles of Rosso di Montalcino from different producers, get the same year, the same vintage, and try them with friends. Get some aged cheeses, maybe an antipasto and stuff, some nice good bread, and try it for yourselves.
Making me hungry, and I just had breakfast.
But Brunello, it remains one of my favorite grapes.
It's got an off-color red look to it, almost like that.
Yeah, it's almost like a brownish. Yes, that's what
like the Barolo.
Well,
remember
Brunello means little brown.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so yeah, it does have that brownish tint, and as it gets older. Okay, if we poured this in the bottle, in a glass, you'd see that there's a little, they call it bricking on the edge. You'd probably see it more in the older Brunellos in my wine cellar, those dating back to 2000, 2001, 2002. But yeah, around the meniscus, this is called the meniscus, you see it, that brown tint.
We'll call it our little brown nose of wine.
Yeah. So you can. This is available now. The Rosso di Montalcino. It's a great. Dinner wine. Especially like I said with meat and food. So
they both would be. Yeah.
So, all right. Anything to add, Mike?
Always nice to share another glass with you.
Oh yeah,
notice how mine empties before you.
Well, now the other thing that's this has been a great vintage, great year for Chianti Classico, and the summer is winding down. A lot of these new reds are coming overseas and coming into the market. The Cabernets from California and stuff, they'll be releasing those in the next couple of months and stuff. So it's a time to start thinking about red grape, good wines for winter. So next week I want to look at the Chianti Classico, which has been rated a classic vintage, one of the best in the last decade. And there are some great buys out there.
I remember when you used to do the column for the Lowell Sun and the Boston Herald, it was always exciting in the fall because you'd voice the strong reds coming up, and it always made my appetite go a little more. The good reds with good food in the winter. That's what's good about winter months here.
And the other thing about Chianti Classico, it's made from the same Sangiovese grape. The clone, though, is a bit different, which we can go into that. And it's not as aged as long as the Brunello di Montalcino, but it still has an 18 to 24 month aging requirement. And a good Chianti is just as silky, generous, and beautiful. And some people prefer it. So we'll talk a little about that and pick out some great buys for you that I've seen in the last couple of weeks, and you can get them locally. So that's the big thing. You can get them locally. So your prediction on this week's game?
Well, last time we talked about it, they had Aaron Rodgers, the Jets. The quarterback they have now is so questionable, but it's going to be each team needs this win. Flip a coin, I think. She's maybe the Patriots by 4. 5.
Okay, really?
But if they lose, doesn't surprise me because I picked them to win 4 games. This would be one of the games that they would win, even within it, Aaron Rodgers. But each team has its doubts now about itself. I'd still pick the Patriots by 4 points.
Okay. Well, if the Patriots win, I think I'll share this bottle of wine with you, the Pigeon.
I think they'll open their own bottle too if they win.
And in closing, I want to salute my wife, the wine goddess, Mary Lee.
32 years.
Will be celebrating 32nd anniversary.
Wonderful.
This week, although she likes to tell me that, I've known you for 35 years. I said, well.
It feels like 50. Yeah,
it feels like. But anyway, here's to the wine goddess.
I can't toast with an empty glass. It's bad luck. Open the Brunello with the 90s.
No, we're not doing that one right now.
The wine Butler doesn't get that one, Teddy.
Well,
here we go.
Until the next show.
And James.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
May the Montalcino be with you.